Hello, my name is Grant Stern. I'm a City of Miami resident, but I've been asking for public records from the City of Miami Beach for quite some time as part of the reporting that I do on city and county politics. And I'm here today to ask this commission to take up comprehensive legislation to create some sort of common sense method of dealing with public records requests. Now, I'm going to ask all of the commissioners a question. I'd love it if you answer at the end, which is, how many hours or days do you think is reasonable for a city official to deliver the cost of giving out emails? Do you think it's an hour or 2 hours or 4 hours or a day or two? Just to give out how much does it cost to obtain city records? Well, the problem is that the city loves to claim exemptions, but it doesn't have a system for making sure that exempt materials are labeled as such and easily searchable. And it's gotten to the point where it has created an opaque city that no citizen can penetrate and find out what is really going on. The City of Miami Beach needs to institute a system that codifies when an exempt email must be marked so that it can be called out quickly and emails can be delivered for the actual cost of delivery, which is the time to search. The city says 30 minutes is enough. And that really should be enough to download and deliver almost any email search of any complexity, especially if the city undertakes intelligent measures to codify the requirement to make sure that citizens are given access to emails. I come to you today because right now, as it stands, I am unable to get public records access to this city for pretty much anything except the very most routine items, and even the most routine items, like asking for legislation from this body, required coming to City Hall personally to pay $1 and then going to another location at Miami Beach's police department to pick up a CD, which could have been delivered digitally.
Thank you.
Would anybody like to answer my question? How many
I
hours
just want to
or days?
advise the City Commission that Mr. Stern is currently a plaintiff in an ongoing public records lawsuit with the city, so you don't have to answer his question.
And can I say it's not about the emails? It has nothing to do with emails. But I'd like to know what you guys think is reasonable for somebody just to be responded to with, here's a bill to obtain your records. Is it a day, 2 days, 3, 4? Whatever you guys think.
Yeah.
Our opinion,
What does the law say?
City Attorney, our comment to Mr. Stern's request would possibly be used evidence against whatever lawsuit is being filed against the city.
Well, let me just say that the definition of what's reasonable depends on the nature of the public records request. The breadth of it, so there's not one specific answer on what is reasonable or not reasonable in terms of the city complying with a public records request. What we do with our public records request, and I don't hear complaints about our ability to respond to public records very often, is we take each request individually on a case-by-case basis, and they're farmed out to the department with the records to provide the records. And we certainly, either implicitly or explicitly, deny the public's access to public records by delaying them. He may not agree with the time that it takes us to compile the record, but there's no real pat answer for what's reasonable or not.
Let me ask a question. Putting the timing aside, because I'm not going to get into what's reasonable, is it true that you have to pay in one location and then go pick up in another location?
That's rare. I guess it was a police request, and they asked us.
No, it wasn't.
I have no idea.
No,
what
it
you're
was
talking
just
about.
legislation from the City Commission, and I requested it, and they demanded that I show up and pay $1 here.
Who did that?
This was the communications department. I've got all the emails. It's sitting in my email.
If that's true, and I don't know if it's true, I think you should be able to do both at one location.
I mean,
What we do is normally, so they don't have to come to the clerk's office. If they're going to pick it up somewhere, they can pay there. I mean, I've never heard of this before. So
I don't know
if that's
why
the case-
digital records were given to us on CD only and from 2 locations to begin with. It just didn't make any sense to me. That wasn't reasonable. But
I'm
to
not
your
saying it
point,
didn't happen,
to speak. Oh, sorry.
Go ahead.
To speak to the city attorney's point, I'm not asking about what do you think is reasonable to complete a request, because like he said, that can vary greatly. And also, let me say, I'm not suing over emails at this time, okay? I have a lawsuit that is about social media. It is about the former mayor and his radio program, and that is what it's limited to. But I'm asking about the time it takes to just respond and say, here's a bill. This is what it's going to cost for us to do it.
We'll look into it.
I mean, it seems to me like a bill can be generated and provided within a few working hours, even within 24 hours or a business day. But in this city,
Thank you. We need to move on to the next speaker, and we were going to look into it, I promise.
if I can have 30 seconds to make one last point, I'd appreciate it. May I?
10 seconds.
Last point is, the Miami Herald reported about a $73,000 public records request bill from this city, which was pretty unreasonable. And the last mayor admitted in court that he withheld records about Zika virus at the request of the governor. These are things that are publicly reported. If the city attorney is not reading about this, then I think he needs to start reading the newspaper more often. Thank you.